Darren, a lot to think about from the other night, obviously. I suppose is part of that what we talked about after the game, the kind of psychological aspect of it, the mentality of not really, even though you conceded 2 goals, not really focusing on that last 5-10 minutes or so. It's what you did before that, and is that the real kind of focus you want to take through now?
Yeah, I think for after having a couple of days to let it digest, I think looking at the first half of the game that's how Port Vale should be, on the front foot, very much engaged, taking the game to the opposition, scoring 2 wonderful goals, and it could have been more. I just remember us having the first chance after 30 seconds, so we set the tone, and the players brought that. There was wonderful energy in it, and then second half we kind of, even though Fleetwood threw caution to the wind and had nothing to lose, we were defending our box pretty much well, and had a couple of times where we could have broke away and made more with that opportunity, but we never. But certainly the last, and I speak about the last, I was saying 15-20 minutes, but actually it was probably the last 7 or 8 minutes really what had a real significance really, which, when the goal went in, we had to just really almost take a step forward as opposed to taking a step back. And I thought that sort of accumulated with us probably conceding a late second goal, which was an equaliser. So it probably almost felt like it was a loss in some essence, but obviously it was a point at the end of the day, and we've drawn conclusion with it. And though we should have won the game, we didn't lose the game, and it was a point, and it stopped the rot in terms of the losing consecutive games. So what we have to just do as a group is learn from that, what's happened the other night, and make sure that we atone for it. It doesn't happen again for the rest of the season.
You said after the game you wouldn't let it affect them. You won't let that type of thing affect them. How hard is that to implement? When with the greatest will in the world, you're on a touchline, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're not out there. So how hard is that to do for a manager?
Yeah, I think for me as a manager is being a former player and coming through situations like that, and how did I come through situations like that, and the team and the experiences, and talking through that with the players, and create. You can create some game scenarios or training scenarios like it, but it's not like it because you haven't got the crowd, you haven't got the adulation of a match day. So it's when those situations come again, and it will come again from now to the end of the season, it's being able to stand resolute as a group, a togetherness approach, and going through those hard moments and painful moments, and coming through it, and coming through that adversity together. And once a group felt that, coming through that adversity together, they build from that. And sometimes it's hard, but you have to go through it in order for that to come out the other side and see that upward turn in terms of your mindset, the confidence in terms of going forward. But as I said with the group, I won't allow it to hinder or fester, because we can't, because we've got another game on the weekend, and it's a game that we're very much looking forward to. It's a game that we can put those 5, 6, 7 minutes of bad taste out of our mouth and put it into action with another energised performance on Saturday.
Are you looking around and saying, right lads, you've got to be up for this now, there's no margin for error pretty much anymore, is there? So are you having a kind of, if you like, a rallying call to some of those players who say, right, this is it now, you've got to show that you're up for it?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think for us as a group and for players, we represent Port Vale Football Club and the community. So there's an added responsibility. So it's not the fact of being up for this one particular game, even though this is the next game. It's being up for the remainder of the games for the rest of the season, and playing the hearts out for the football club, and being truly committed for this football club going forward. As I said, when we put the shirts on for Port Vale, we represent a community, and that has to be displayed and shown in our play for the fight and commitment for this football club. And that's the efforts and endeavour what's going to take from now for the remainder games for the rest of the season.
Can you understand why the crowd, though, do get frustrated because they don't want to see their team lose points on there? But can you kind of get where they're coming from at times as well? Because they will be unhappy when results go against you.
I 100% see why the crowd would have been happy. I got it all in a nutshell the other night in terms of the atmosphere and in both sense, and Yes, there was disbelief really, because in a game that we were in total control of, I don't think anybody would have envisaged and seen the result that he finished up at. And I would agree with that. So you can see the frustration, because these players and myself and the staff, we carry a great hope for Port Vale Football Club, which is on the pitch. So you can understand that, and rightly so. I was in the arena, I felt it, I felt the arena, so I could understand, and I agree with them. My job as a manager is to regroup the players, is to get them aligned again and get them ready for the next game. And what I've had to say to the players is there's nothing we can do to change what's gone on. But what the most important thing for us to do is to learn from what's gone on and apply it in the remainder games, and make sure that certain things that happen in that game we recognise and see it for what it is, and it doesn't happen again.
You dropped your captain the other night, you brought in Casper and you brought in Alex Jakoviti. Those two seem to, if you like, for the most part, repel everything that came forward. Are you very much aware of the different strengths, particularly in your defence as well, and you adapt that to different games? I'm thinking, like, obviously you dropped Nathan, but you brought Alex and those two in. So are you very much aware of that different games require different strengths from your defence in particular?
What I've said to all the players is, with the games that we've got coming up, it's horses for courses. So in terms of the team, we'll select a team that we feel will get the job done on the day, and that remains that, you know, everybody has to be committed and on the same page. And it doesn't mean that you're assured of playing every single week. It means being able to be in a sacrificial position for the benefit of the team and the football club. And we need all the players on that page, really, in terms of that. Whoever's playing plays their heart out. Whoever's on the subs bench or not in the squad is fully supportive of the team and getting right behind them and driving the team forward. And that's the relationships that we want to build in this football club, and the culture in terms of going forward, because it's all about Port Vale Football Club, and no one individual's bigger than the football club. And that's the mindset and culture and the mentality that we want. So the other night, I thought Casper came in and did well. I thought Alex come in for his game, and I thought he did well. I thought both of them played really, really well. I thought there was good energy in the team. We raced really quickly to a 2-goal lead and looked very, very promising. And as I said, credit to the group of players. And as I said to the group, we have to try and find a winning formula. And at the moment, we're trying different things. We're trying different methods to try and spark and get that win. And that's what we have to do. So we're trying things different, because obviously things what's done before has obviously not worked. So we're trying to find different aspects of the team that we can trigger and find a different formula, different shapes, formations, players, combinations, to try and get that elusive win.
It's about that perfect game, like you've said. How do you get that perfect game? Because I imagine that's a really tough nut to crack. So how do you go about it?
I think that's the things that the players have to look at. We have to look to ourselves and saying, if we want to get the win or the points, we have to play the perfect game, and that's the standard what we want the players at. To when they go out on the football pitch, I'm called upon to play the perfect game and play to my strengths. And I think that's what's been called for at the moment for this football club, to drive it forward. And every player should aspire to that. We all want to play the perfect game. All right, sometimes it doesn't quite happen like that. But I think if you go with that mindset and mentality, with that commitment and endeavour to want to play the perfect game, I think it drives the players to them high level and standards. And it's those standards what's going to be needed to get us up and away and get us climbing up the league.
Lastly, Derby is a very intimidating place to go. You'll know it well. What does that mindset have to be to go there and get something? Because they'll be hurting after they lost at home the other night. So what do you have to do to get that perfect game out of those players for this particular match?
Yeah, again, so the arena, to go and play in the arena, is a fantastic arena to go and play. To go and play your football there. And it's an arena for certainly myself and the players to land in there. It's an arena to go and enjoy and go and play your football. So that's something there. Be a big crowd, nice crowd, but as footballers, that's what you want to do, is playing in arenas like that. I know Paul really, really well in terms of his leading a promotional push there. Obviously, their remit there is to get promotion this season, so it's a great game for us to go and play. But it's a game that we have to be at our level best. And when I talk about the almost like the perfect performance needed from the players, certainly that'll be an arena where the players have to aspire to be able to perform at the height and the level of intensity in terms of a togetherness, a willingness, a drive, a unity about the team in order to come away from there with the right result for Port Vale Football Club. So it's a wonderful arena. We're looking forward to going there, and as I said, it should be another great game.
And you'll know about it, obviously, with your time there. You'll know what that crowd can be like and what the atmosphere. Does that help when prepping the team, when you know what the atmosphere can be like, and somewhere you've played?
Yeah, I've played there, and I know the arena, and I know the atmosphere that can be in there. So it's just leaning on your experiences from being a former player there and playing my trade there. And you know, I was there. I think it was 2006-07 season when we had that wonderful year in the promotion year there. So it was a great time there. So I can understand what the arena can be like, and it's just getting that to the players and understanding that to the group of players. But as I said, you know, it'd be really good to step back in there. It'd be great to see Paul again in terms of what he's doing with the team there and how he's got them on the front foot and engaging and pushing for promotion. But I'm looking at our own team, and my concerns are here and focusing on the group here and making sure that until then, over these next couple of days, we're going there in the best frame of mind and preparation for the game.